Hello, hello, hello. It is the end of April, which means it's time for the May spread, and I've actually got it out a week early. Shock, shock, shock. If you watch other bullet journal videos, you will recognise this because I shamelessly again stole this idea, design, whatever, from Elise McKenna over at Miss McKenna's Life Leverage. I love her spreads, and this one just last time she did it, it appealed to me. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna have a go at this as well. And stupid as it sounds, that swirly shit all around the outside is really hard for me to do. I am not naturally a freehand swirlier. Okay, freehand swirlies do my nut in, and I actually sketched it on every single page to make sure it looked right. And at the end, when I get to the chore chart, you actually see me do some freehand swirling in pen. Be impressed. I was very impressed with myself. So I didn't really do anything major with the cover page. I thought all the swirly was pretty enough without needing any extra help. Then I dove straight into my habit tracker here. That's just, you've seen me do this before. You've seen this on probably pretty much every single bullet journal video ever. It's just a square tracker. Each square is a day, and each line is a task, and each column is a day. It's really that simple. This one's a little bit more complex, but I've explained this a gazillion flipping times. It's a square tracker. Okay, each column is a day, and each row is a whatever it is that you're tracking. In my case, I track mood and pain on my square tracker. So I fill the column up like I would a bar graph to denote my mood, and then I go around like in a line graph to denote my pain. And the closer to the outside it is, the higher the number, really. And that's pretty much it. It's as simple as that. And you'll observe in a little while that I have actually fucked up on both of these trackers. The square one was easy enough to sort of fix once I got there, but the other one on the left hand side was a bit like, oh, I'm not gonna do this without major bloody work. And basically what I did was I put 30 days instead of 31. I realised it a little bit later on, and I'm like, oh bugger, and I have to go back and sort it out. This whole spread, this whole thing, this whole entire video took just under 3 hours to do. And I've increased it. Is it up 8 speed, I think, increase. And here I go with more fancy writing. Look. I actually quite enjoyed doing all of this, but God, it didn't half increase the time. Here we go, swirly, swirly, look, woo! It looks really good, doesn't it, when I speed it up like that? But yeah, no, the simple fact is I literally traced it all around and did it all in pencil first. Look at that, 30 days. I'm an idiot. And then it's just me filling in my habits that I like to track. The ones below that dark line, about 2/3 of the way down, are Daryl's habits that I track. I quite enjoyed doing the, oh, excuse me, yawning at you. I quite enjoyed doing the swirly writing. That was good fun. And I was sorry about my head keep appearing in the bottom of the. I was concentrating so hard to make sure I did it all correctly, and then it was like, you've screwed it up anyway, and I was like, oh, for God's sake. Because, just. And then I started erasing it. My mum rang me, and I don't know what happened. This is something that keeps happening with this eraser. It made a smooge right across May. So I got a spare piece of paper and erased all over that, and there was no smooge. So I went back, and it just seemed like it just kept making it worse, and I just kept trying, and it just, it was like, for God's sake. I don't know whether I had some ink on it or what, but it seemed mostly alright afterwards, but I could not get rid of the smooge on the cover page. So, but you know what, we're nearly 5 months in. I'm not surprised the book's looking a bit bloody tatty by now. You can see me clenching my fists in anger there. So I decided that I was also going to steal this idea of colouring the writing in to try and make it look a bit better, and it didn't really, and the Tombos bled through the Tomway River paper, and it's a bit of a shit show really. But you know, it looks pretty. I like purple. Who doesn't like purple? If you don't like purple, then you know, I respect your opinion, but you're wrong. So yeah, here we go, scribbling it all in. The colours I used were hang on, will I just check? 623 and 620. Very, very close in the palette. And then later on in the weeklies, I add 553 and 761 to those. And that's literally, I just use the same palette all the way through along with some pretty washi. This was where I realised, whoa, hang on. Isn't there 31? Yeah, you see me tap it. 31 days. Oh, bugger, better go back and add in another fucking column. So then I was like, how am I going to do this to make it look, you know, I didn't want to use white out because that's not white paper, and I hate the look of white out. And so I sort of pondered it while I numbered around here. And then I thought, well, do you know what? I'm just going to draw a little arrow saying start here. I'm so glad I discovered it before I filled all this in, because then that would have been really like a pain in the arse to try and fix, but I did, so I feel quite proud of myself. I use a thicker Pitt Artist pen on the outside bits, these bits that I'm doing now on all of my trackers. So it's a thinner pen in the inside lines, and then a thicker pen in the outside lines, if that makes sense. It does to me, it should to you as well. Now I am on my tarot card of the day spread, and yeah, this is very, very basic. This it's just 2 lines a day that I dedicate towards a tarot card that I pull, and again with the swirly around the outside. I thought it looked quite good. It looks sort of like vines growing all over it, which is quite sweet really. Vines or Christmas lights or something, you know. This is my sleep and my steps tracker. The sleep tracker is on this page that I'm doing now. The left side of the sleep tracker is how well I think I slept, and the right side is how many hours, so I screwed up again there, how many hours my watch tells me I slept. And then on the right it's just a simple steps tracker. Although I'm now using an Apple Watch, I still tend to use my Fitbit for steps. My Fitbit tracker lives in my bra, to be perfectly honest. Mainly because I can see it, and I like to play Fitbit bingo with my friends. So I occasionally win as well, which is, you know, it's quite fucking good actually. I'm quite impressed with myself when I win. I can't do an ampersand to save my life. Look at the state of that. Never mind. It's a very, very simple tracker, this. On the right hand side I just track how many steps I do per day, on the right hand page rather. That's quite easy and simple to track. You know, there are loads of trackers and loads of apps on said trackers, you know. Very, very easy, very simple. I just like the way it looks. You see me constantly checking my razor now to make sure it doesn't smooge again. It's very annoying that it did. don't normally do a border around my pages, and I quite like that I have done. I don't think I would do it every time, but I do like how effective this looks. I just can't make up my mind whether it looks like a vine or Christmas lights. So just adding in a bit of colour. I sort of did a couple of spreads, added some colour, did a couple of spreads, added some colour, and that way I could sort of pause when I needed to. That was the whole idea, so that I didn't wear myself out. Now I was on to my chores, and I triple checked that I'd done the right amount of columns for that Monday, because I messed up April's chore tracker, something rotten. And didn't realise sort of until I was a few weeks in, by which point I'd already started colouring it, and I couldn't figure out, other than like sticking in a new sheet of paper, how to fix it. And I just couldn't be bothered, so I didn't. Yeah, so my chores tracker is, well, I think it's quite simple. It seems quite popular, and I know a couple of people on Instagram emulate it each month, which is cool. Hey, if you emulate it, please do tag me in it so that I can give your post some love. Basically what it is each quadrant is a different day of the week. You'll see I'll separate this into quadrants in a minute, and that's when I do my freehand swirly shit. But yeah, I separate this into quadrants, and each quadrant is a different day, and then each column within that quadrant is the day in the month. So on Monday, for example, it will have, the 3rd and the 10th and the 17th and so on and so forth. And then Tuesday is the 4th and the 11th. Do you know what I mean? And I do my chores, basically try to do them on the same day every week. The long thin column on the left hand side is my monthly chores that I only really do once a month. Right, this wasn't the freehand swirly shit. This was like traced. This was when you could see me thinking about it, because I was like trying to, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And I was thinking it and thinking it and thinking it. And I do take the plunge any moment now. You see me working out where the middle is. There we go, freehand swirly all the way across the page. Look at that. Now this one I joined up on this side and did it like that, and then on this page I just went straight across the middle. The trick with your swirlying is to not rest your hand on the page. The trick with swirlying is to have your hand off the page, and the only part of you that is in any contact with the book that you are swirlying on is the end of your pen, because it gives you a more free-flowing movement. It's the same with if you want to draw a straight line. You don't actually rest any part of your arm on the table or on the book. If you want to draw a straight line freehand, you have to get into the habit of lifting. It is possible to do. Look at how artists paint on easels. They don't rest their wrist on it, do they? They paint with no support whatsoever, and that's how you freehand swirly. So I decided to pull in the colour again on the days of the week here, and to be honest, I don't normally write the days of the week on this spread anymore, because I know where they all are. And not only that, but I do date it, so, But I just decided, you know what, you might as well. Just makes it look nice, doesn't it? I actually like how this looks when it's finished. Look, there's the subscribe bell. So do as you're told and go and subscribe. And you should have seen the like one earlier on, so I hope you liked it while you were at it as well. And then I just coloured in the fancy writing up at the top here to tie that all in together. And yeah, now all I've got to do is, I think, write the chores that I wish to track and the dates, which is quite easy to do, really. See, magic, all done. Easy as that. That spread's probably one of the ones that takes me the longest. And it's tedious to do. It looks impressive, but it is tedious to do. I went off to find washi tape, And yeah, now basically all you're going to see is me setting up my weeks. I used to do this every week. I would set up the following week on like the Wednesday or the Thursday, but for the past few months I've actually been setting up the weeks when I set up the months, and it's making life a lot easier because it means that I don't have to find time to do it every week, and it does make it a lot less stressful. It really, really does. The only thing you don't see me do in this video is actually populate this month, mainly because there's not an awful lot for me to populate it with, and I haven't transferred all my bills and that over to my May calendar anyway. So yeah, each sixth, as it were, the central line down the middle, the vertical line, is directly in the middle. There's 13 squares either side of it, and then each little section is 9 squares high. This is a little stencil that I got from an Etsy store, and Mary sent it to me, which was awfully sweet of her. Yeah, and then I do these weekly setups every single week. I've been doing it this way for the past few years because this works for me. I don't believe in, oh, I'm bored, let's change it, or let's change it because everybody else must be bored. I mean, if you're bored with the way I do it, then okay, fine, go and watch somebody else, This works for me, and the whole point of my journal is to make it work for me, not for you guys, I like how this works. I'm using my calendar, my Google Calendar, a lot more now. I've got my calendar perpetually open on my iMac desktop, and I use my calendar for scheduling things to make sure I get it done, because I've been suffering from quite chronic fatigue, and having my schedule written down each day is helping me. So that gets put into my Google Calendar, and then each day as I do the thing, it gets moved to the next day or the next relevant day required. But I've got everything on there from, get up, charge your watch in the morning, It's something you think I would just think to do, but I don't. I charge my phone at night because my phone is like at the moment it's midnight and my phone's on about 15%. But I don't think to charge my watch when I get up in the morning because I wear it for sleep tracking. So I have a reminder on my phone, charge your watch. And it's on my calendar so that it shows on one of those widget things on my desktop. I don't know what the fuck they're called. But I have my calendar open on my iMac as well, just because I like to be able to see it without having to unlock my iPhone all the time. And it's working really well. I've been doing it since I got the watch. So, it makes life a lot easier for me to have my chores written down. That's why I do it that way. I'm very, very forgetful lately. I think part of that's due to the tiredness. I always have been a bit forgetful, but I think part of that is due to the tiredness. And my family are well aware, if they want me to remember something, Mum, write that down in your book. Yeah, okay, or put it in your phone. Set a reminder on this, Mum. Yeah, we'll do. Because it is that bad. It really is that bad. So I just do what you see me doing there with the Faber. Oh, it's not a Faber Castell actually. It's a Unipin. Sorry, a Unipin. Is it a fine line? Unipin fine line. It is. It's a 0.05, and all I do on the letters of the week and the numbers is to just put like this little drop shadow, and it just makes it that much easier to see, really. and that's it. I use the same colour on everything of that week. So like this week I've used the same colour to write MTWTFSS. I've used that colour to also write the numbers, to colour in the 21, and to highlight which week it is in the little mini calendar. Right, I'm going to give you a little flip through just so you can see it not in fast mode really. There you go, there's the cover page with that little smooge across it. I quite like it. I quite like how it's come out. That's my habits, my mood and my pain. my tarot per day. The blank space on the right is so that I can write which deck I'm using. Sleeping steps. I quite like how that came out. It looks quite good. Chores. Shame about the bleed through. Never mind. And then we're into the individual weeks. So don't forget to give this video a like. Any comments, questions, suggestions or feedback, please do leave them down below. If you click the watermark in the corner, you'll be subscribed and hit the bell and you'll be notified when I upload new content. Take it easy, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your day and I will see you next time. Bye.